Your cupped hands are already slamming into his ears. The clap should have dropped him. It didn't, because you went soft, aimed wrong, and now 300 pounds of angry human is wrapping hands around your throat. You've got 2 seconds before unconsciousness, and maybe 4 before he realizes his friend is still standing behind you. Bar parking lot. 2 attackers. One is 6'5", 290, moving like a linebacker. The other is smaller but faster, circling. You're 5'8", 160, and every self-defense class you took assumed opponents your size. They lied. Physics doesn't care about fairness. Mass times velocity means you lose every exchange. Strength versus strength, you're overmatched. Wrestling a giant, you're crushed. Trading punches with a tank, you're broken. Here's the thing about giants. They're not armor. They're circuit boards waiting to be hacked. The human body has 10 structural flaws that don't scale with size. Thin clavicles, exposed nerves, joints that hyperextend, pressure points that override muscle. You're not fighting 300 pounds, you're attacking biology. And biology doesn't lift weights. Let's start with what you just screwed up, then do it right. Cheat 1. The ear clap. Equilibrium destruction. Finishing what you started. Hands around your throat. Can't generate power for punches. He's too close, too strong, choking you out. You tried the ear clap. Went wrong. His grip is tightening. 8 seconds to unconsciousness. Cup hands deep. Concave, not flat. Slam both ears simultaneously, targeting the ear canal openings like you're trying to burst balloons. Don't slap. Compress air. The shockwave travels through the canal to the eardrum. Follow with throat strikes while he's disoriented. Don't wait. Ruptured eardrum equals instant vertigo. Balance is controlled by the inner ear. Damage it and he can't stand. His grip releases involuntarily as proprioception fails. The eardrum is a thin membrane under constant pressure. Sudden compression ruptures it, like overinflating a balloon. Semicircular canals connect directly, causing vestibular failure. Permanently damages hearing. Outlawed in all combat sports because recovery takes months and hearing loss is often irreversible. He won't hear his lawyer's advice later. That's his problem. His grip loosens, but he's still standing. Friend is closing distance. Need to eliminate mobility now. Cheat 2. The clavicle snap. Arm shutdown. Giant's reach advantage keeps you at distance. Every time you close in, he shoves you back with tree trunk arms. Can't get inside his guard. His friend is 5 feet away. If you can't disable one arm, he controls range forever. He'll grab, throw, or hold you for his partner. Target the clavicle. Collarbone connecting shoulder to torso. Vertical hammer fist or downward elbow strike. Aim for the midpoint between neck and shoulder. Drive straight down. Full body weight. Bone fractures. 8 pounds of pressure. That's it. Entire shoulder girdle collapses forward. Arm becomes dead weight, hangs useless. He cannot lift or grab with that side. Every movement grinds broken bone. Excruciating pain overrides aggression. Watching his own arm go limp triggers shock. The clavicle is the structural strut, holding the arm away from the body. Thin, shaped, lacks protective muscle. Vertical force creates leverage that snaps it cleanly. Requires surgical repair with plates and screws. Career-ending injury. Gets you banned from every combat sport that exists. His shoulder looks like a coat hanger now. Fashion disaster. One arm down, but he's still mobile. His grip hand is uninjured. Time to address that. Cheat 3. The wrist shear. Grip annihilation. He's grabbed your jacket with his good hand. Iron grip. 250 pounds of pulling force. Prying fingers doesn't work. His hand is too strong. While he controls your clothing, he controls your movement. Can't escape. Can't strike effectively. His friend is positioning for tackle. Pin his grabbing hand against your chest to trap it. Drive your forearm down vertically onto his wrist joint with full body weight. Don't push. Drop your mass. Like an axe. Carpal bones crush together. Wrist joint hyperextends and snaps. Grip fails instantly because mechanical leverage is destroyed. Hand stops functioning. The wrist contains 8 small carpal bones held by ligaments. Vertical force compresses them, while hyperextending the joint. Gravity does the work. Permanent wrist damage requires surgery. Small joint manipulation is explicitly illegal in MMA and grappling competitions because size becomes irrelevant. Wrists don't lift weights. Neither does his anymore. Both arms compromised. He's still standing. Friend is 3 feet away. Need to drop the giant. Cheat 4. The carotid sinus strike. System reboot. Giant is still upright despite injuries. Advancing slowly. Friend is about to engage. You need an instant shutdown, not gradual damage. If both attack simultaneously, you're fighting 2 people. One with working legs and core strength. Time has run out. Target the carotid sinus. Side of neck where jaw meets throat. Sharp knife hand strike. Horizontal angle. Not a chop. A precise tap. Carotid sinus monitors blood pressure. Sharp strike tricks brain into believing catastrophic spike. Brain fires vagus reflex. Heart rate crashes. Blood vessels dilate. Signals glitch. Vasovagal syncope causes instant collapse. Lights go out in under 2 seconds. The baroreceptor simulates hypertensive crisis. Brain's emergency response drops heart rate to prevent stroke, but causes blackout instead. Can trigger cardiac arrest in people with heart conditions. Strikes to the neck are universally illegal because death risk is too high. His nervous system just rage quit. No save file. Giant is down but not unconscious. Stunned, disoriented. Friend is engaging now. All right. Second attacker tackles you. Bear hug from behind. Lifting you off ground. Time to turn size into a liability. Cheat 5. The kidney strike. Anchor break. His size advantage is about to slam you into concrete. Once you're airborne, he controls where you land. Concrete to the skull equals lights out. He outweighs you by 80 pounds. Sharp, penetrating knee strikes to kidneys. Lower back, just above the hips. Rapid fire. 3 minimum. 5 better. Drive knees like spears, not swings. Kidneys are unprotected organs. Direct trauma causes intense pain and internal bleeding risk. Lower back muscles seize and spasm. Entire core loses strength. Body sinks downward involuntarily. He becomes heavy, unstable dead weight. Instead of being a powerful grappler, he becomes a stumbling obstacle blocking his own partner. Kidneys sit against the spine with minimal protection. Trauma disrupts erector spinae muscles, forcing collapse to protect organs. Kidney strikes risk permanent organ damage and renal failure. Illegal in all striking sports. He wanted to lift you. Now he can't lift himself. He's released you. Both attackers still conscious. First attacker is recovering. Need to finish this. Cheat 6. The temple strike. Terion fracture. First attacker is standing again. Arms useless but charging with his head. Going for a tackle or headbutt. No time for complex technique. 300 pounds running at you. If contact is made, you're going backward into his friend or the ground. Target the temple. Terion. Thinnest part of skull located above the ear. Sharp hammer fist. Or elbow. Snapping strike. Not pushing. Thin bone fractures easily. Creates intracranial pressure. Middle meningeal artery underneath trauma causes instant vertigo. Vestibular system scrambles. Balance fails. He drops. The terion is where 4 skull bones meet, only millimeters thick with artery underneath. Sharp impact causes pressure wave in brain. High risk of skull fracture, brain bleed, death. Deliberate temple strikes are illegal even in MMA. Skull's just thin here. Evolution's design flaw. Not yours. First attacker down. Second, recovering from kidney strikes. You're exhausted. Need low energy technique. Let's move on. Second, attacker is recovering. Trying to kick or bull rush. His legs are his remaining weapons. Cheat 7. The knee hyperextension. Standing leg break. Fresh legs against exhausted defense. One solid kick to your head ends this. His size means his kicks have freight train force. Catch or redirect incoming kick. Trap heel against your chest. Drive hip forward into his exposed knee joint. Hyperextend backward. ACL and PCL ligaments separate. Sickening pop. Knee rendered structurally useless. Cannot bear weight. Drops immediately. Cannot stand. Cannot chase. Knee is a hinge joint designed for forward and backward motion. Only ligaments are elastic bands that tear instantly under backward force beyond normal range. Requires surgical reconstruction, months of rehab, often permanent mobility loss. Joint manipulation is outlawed in all combat sports. Legs bend one way. Yours taught him the other. Both down but conscious. Situation not fully neutralized. Need absolute stopping power. Cheat 8. The eye gouge. Oculocardiac reflex. First attacker, despite injuries, is crawling toward you. Determined, enraged, not processing pain. Pure aggression. Injured opponent is most dangerous. Nothing to lose, pain already maxed out. If he reaches you, he'll drag you down. Thumb or fingers driven into eye socket. Don't poke. Hook behind orbital bone. Apply deep pressure toward brain. Both eyes if possible. Expect screaming. Expect blood. Eyes connect directly to heart via vagus nerve. Deep pressure triggers oculocardiac reflex. Heart rate drops 50% or more instantly. Blindness plus watering makes processing fight impossible. He sees your thumb approaching his eye. That image triggers existential terror before you even make contact. Eyes are only exposed. Central nervous system pressure sends signal through vagus nerve causing bradycardia. Combined with pain, creates total system disruption. Permanent blindness. Irreversible retinal damage. Psychological trauma. No combat sport on Earth allows eye attacks. He'll never see the lawsuit coming either. Both attackers neutralized. But you need final insurance. Environment provides last weapon. Cheat 9. The throat strike. Tracheal collapse. Second attacker is on ground. Injured leg preventing standing but still combative. Reaching for weapon or phone. Needs to be completely shut down. Injured opponent can still call reinforcements, produce weapon, or testify clearly about what happened. Time to leave. Now. Target trachea. Windpipe between collarbones. Knife hand strike horizontal, not downward. Or spear hand. Fingertips together. Drive through target. Trachea is cartilage rings. Collapses under direct force. Partial collapse triggers gag reflex and panic. Full collapse means suffocation. Brain realizes it can't breathe. Fight response shuts down entirely. C-shaped cartilage rings hold airway open. Direct strike collapses. Rings inward, triggering carbon dioxide buildup within 60 seconds. Potentially lethal. Can cause death by asphyxiation. Throat strikes are universally outlawed. Breathing's optional. For him, not you. Both fully neutralized. But you're not done. Physics has one more lesson. Cheat 10. The ballistic chest strike. Commotio cordis. First attacker, somehow, is still moving. Crawling, gasping, trying to rise. His size and stubbornness are superhuman. Needs absolute shutdown. If he recovers enough to stand, his size advantage returns. You're exhausted. Can't maintain defense much longer. One window left. Relaxed fist. Loose shoulder. Strike sternum. Center of chest. Timing is everything. Fist tightens only at millisecond of impact. Convert body weight into penetrating pulse, not surface blow. Strike time to cardiac cycle causes commotio cordis. Fatal heart rhythm disruption. Hydrostatic shockwave through sternum hits heart and lungs. System shutdown without visible wounds. Collapses where he stands. Impact during 20 millisecond window of cardiac cycle disrupts electrical rhythm. Causes ventricular fibrillation. Cardiac arrest. Timing matters more than force. Can be lethal. Even accidental chest impacts in sports have caused deaths. Deliberate targeting is criminal assault. Heart's a drum. You just change the beat. Permanently. Police sirens in distance. Here's why size becomes irrelevant with anatomical targeting. Giants have the same structural weaknesses as everyone. Thin clavicles, exposed tracheas, knees that hyperextend, pressure points that override muscle. These 10 techniques don't test strength or skill, they exploit biology. Muscle mass doesn't protect cartilage. Weight training doesn't strengthen ligaments. Size just makes the target bigger. They're forbidden because they work too well. Permanent damage by design. Legal reality. Using these invites investigation, possible criminal charges. Biology doesn't scale. Structural weaknesses remain constant regardless of size. Techniques require commitment, not strength or years of training. Most people can't commit to this level of harm. Your attacker knows that. They're betting you'll hesitate. That hesitation gets you killed. Back to the parking lot. Both attackers down. One unconscious, one not moving. You're standing, breathing hard, covered in blood and sweat. Not all yours. The question was never could you win. It was, could you survive when physics said you shouldn't? You walk to your car. Hands shaking so hard you can barely grip the keys. In 6 hours, you'll talk to police. In 6 days, you'll need a lawyer. In 6 months, you'll still hear that pop when the knee went. But you'll be alive to hear it. Because when 300 pounds decides your prey, there's no fair fight. There's only walking away or not walking away. And next time someone tells you size doesn't matter, they're right. It doesn't. Biology matters, and biology doesn't lift weights.